Beitzah Daf. How's everybody doing? So we discussed the other day, Rav said a memra, that an egg, as it comes out, it's considered finished. What does that mean? So one pshat that we're going to learn today is that if most of it comes out, 51 comes out, and then it goes back in, according to Rabbi Yochanan, even if it goes back into the chicken, it's considered as if it laid, and it would be mutter to eat such an egg on Yom Tov, if that happened the day earlier. Or the opposite. You need all of it to be laid in order to be considered laid. If a person finds eggs, he shechs the chicken, finds eggs inside the chicken, according to Tanakama, you're allowed to eat those eggs with milk. It's not considered part of the chicken. According to Rabbi Yaakov, it's considered part of the chicken's basar. In fact, he says you could distinguish between the Isser basar b'chalav, chicken and milk, which is only the Rabbanan, to the Isser tumah the Rabbanan. Because when it came to tumah, Rabbanan didn't want to add tumas. The only way to become tummy when you eat a bird is by eating it, that is, and not by just touching it and lifting it. So there are certain things that if you eat of a bird, you don't become tummy, like the bones, the sinews, basar menachai, a piece of a live chicken. There are parts that are eaten by some people, like the ovaries with the yolk, kurkivon, which is the pupik, the intestines, or if you take chaylev and you liquefy the chaylev, that is mitama. The Gemara tells us a yesod. Any being that mates during the night, like a bat, only gives birth during the night. Any being that mates during the night and the day, like humans, they're born during the day and night. But if they mate only during the day, like a chicken, they can only lay eggs during the day. Therefore, if you didn't check the chicken coop before Yom Tov, so we're gonna decide that the egg that you found out was laid during the day. But what if you checked the chicken coop before Yom Tov, you didn't see any eggs? Well, if there's no male there, then we could assume that it's possible that she laid the egg during the night. But if there's a male there, and that male is within 60 houses that she could hear his voice, and there's no river, or there's a river and there's a bridge, then the only possibility is that this chicken laid her egg during the day, and it has to be that this egg was laid before Yom Tov. And the reason why you didn't find it is because it went right back into the chicken, like Rabbi Yochanan says, which is a very far-fetched thing, but we're going to have to say so. And a side halacha, if there is any ground garlic, we have to be careful because snakes like that a lot, and they'll insert their venom into it. The halacha is, when it comes to chametz, eating chametz, there's no machlokes. Everybody agrees, b'sham v'hillel, that the isser chametz is the size of a kazayis. But when it comes to the isser of bal yirah or bal yimatzah, owning chametz, there Beis Shammai say there's a distinction between sa'ar, the starter, so to speak, which is only a kazayis, and chametz, which you have to eat more to be chayav, which is kaiseves. And the reason being is, why else did the Torah say two words, sa'ar and chametz? The word sa'ar is extra. But basically say no. We need both words. Sa'ar creates chametz in other products, and the chametz itself is edible, whereas sa'ar is not edible. In our mission we learned, and the Gemara explains, that if a shaychet comes to ask a question from a Rav, everybody agrees that you need to put dirt on the bottom and then put the blood on top of that. You have to make a sandwich. There's two layers. The machlokes is in Beis Shammai. If you're allowed to bring the dirt on Yom Tov, according to Rabbah, you cannot bring the dirt on Yom Tov because perhaps you're going to forget you're not going to shecht. But according to Rabbi Yosef, it's permitted to bring the dirt on Yom Tov because of Simchas Yom Tov. Have a wonderful day.